All right, we are live, 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 live. Hello, hello, everyone. We are live. In a few minutes, I will go and make sure that we are streaming where we need to. In the meantime, I'm going to do the introductions and then we'll go and check and make sure we're streaming where we have to. So, if you are watching this, before I go ahead and make sure we're streaming, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness, and why I cater, serve, help teach women in midlife. I'm a holistic integrative teacher, holistic personal trainer, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, and card reader. And that's just a small bite of the things that I do. But I figured I'd keep it short. Why not? And I have my good buddy here. We have not done this in a little while. I feel like it's been a little while, like a month. Kitty, introduce yourself, and as you're doing that, I'm just gonna
Well,
make sure
yeah,
we're streaming live.
my November didn't go so well.
So go ahead and introduce yourself, love.
I am Kitty Beautywig Foss, storytelling astrologer, reader of the stars, co-owner of Intuition of the Soul, a free private Facebook group. Right now I am. Who knows what Facebook is going to be up to between Facebook and TikTok, TikTok and dealing with, though I've already downloaded Lemon 8, which is TikTok's shorter version. There's only 60-second reels on that. And you can bring all of your contacts from TikTok if they decide to turn it off. So a little plug in for Lemon 8. So, I don't know how I'm going to do reels in 60 seconds, but I'll learn. And we're here today to talk about instability is the name of the game. And it is an instability time. I certainly have been experiencing that personally. While Joanne's...
I'm almost there. Almost there.
It's been quite the month. I've lost my name and I've lost my voice. And how they both come back is kind of going to be interesting. My voice is on its way back. So, it's instability. It's a very interesting thing when you lose your name. My name on Facebook was hijacked. And as a result, trying to restart Facebook has decided that my name doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the people that hijacked my name.
Interesting. It's so interesting. This is what I don't know if you can see it, but this is what I'm getting when I'm trying to go live. I don't have anything on the bottom, but it says
mine did that too, Joanne. I had to go out and come back in, and I was able to get it back. So we are streaming on Intuition of the Soul.
Yes, and we are streaming on YouTube. So for those who are watching, do me a big favor and go share this out. Let your friends know that we're here. And I'm going to do the same by connecting to my groups. And then in just a moment, I'm gonna comment on a little bit of what Kitty is saying regarding some of what she's saying, such as I actually heard about the other app regarding Lemon 8, and I have not yet downloaded the app, but I will be doing that as well, just to be on the safe side.
If anybody's doing that and they want to stay in TikTok, first of all, reels go down to 60 seconds. They just do. Secondly, when you sign up, make sure you open your contacts and allow any other contacts that already exist on TikTok to be ported over. You only get to do that once, so just be aware of that.
That's good information to know. So yes, because things are changing, and ideally, some people may be feeling the sense of the instability, and then other people may not be feeling the sense of instability, because again, what I've been preaching about a lot for the last couple of weeks is what you focus on is what is going to be the reality of your situations. So again, where are we focusing? And my focus is just about collaborations and connections and getting in front of people that's going to support me, that I can support them as well. and just look at 2025 in a different way than I've looked at the last 8 years of our lives, because 2025 does carry that 9 vibration when you add 2025 up. And it is about a review of the last 9 years of our lives, giving ourselves an opportunity to really take a look at the last 9 years of your life and where has things gone perfectly the way you wanted it to, and where has things gone a little off track for you. And this is an opportunity as we move into 2025 to put things back on track. What's working, what's not working, because again, what we focus on. And I can speak from experience on the situation, and then of course we're going to dive into the conversation on hand, is that if we're focused on lack or limitations or restriction, that's exactly what's going to happen. After having a storefront for 22 years and being in that mindset of like making sure everything was in order, theoretically, consciously and unconsciously not being aware of it, I was focused on what I didn't have. So the universe can only bring me what I was focused on. It took me a little while to understand that process, not understanding that I am the creator. I'm very much aware of I am the creator, but really understanding that I am the creator. And all of us are our own little creators. And everything has already been created for you. Everything has been sort of rewritten or pre-written rather. And you have the ability to take charge in whatever that is. I do believe that 2025 is going to be a year where we're going to be expected to step up. We're going to be expected to do the things that we're not comfortable doing. And that means stepping up into the limelight to be seen and to share the gifts that we've been given. And some people get a little uncomfortable with that because either fear or not feeling like they're good enough to do it, or judging themselves or comparing themselves to somebody else. And the reality of it all is, well, we all have a very unique gift that nobody else has, which is why when you think about it, and the vision I have in my mind right now is a Christmas tree. You have all the lights on the tree. If there's that one light that's out, that's what we're noticing. We notice that one light that's out because that one light is the light that's going to help the tree get as bright as it can. So if there's any of us who are not really shining our light the way we were born to shine, we're missing you. So 2025 is really about that, stepping in and recognizing, reviewing your last 9 years of your life, what's worked and what hasn't worked, and what are you willing to change so it can be better for you. The instability, so to speak, is the name of the game. What's not stable for you. So I know Kitty has a lot to share regarding the astrology aspects to things. So let's dive into that conversation.
Well, let's break the word down. Instable. Instability is part of the number 9. 9 is that end of completion. It is also the number in astrology of expansion and learning. And so in that review is to build the next platform. And right now we're at a really interesting astrological place. We're going to have 2 black moons. And but depending where we lived in the country is when we have the actual black moon. And it's also about the different parts of us, the receptive feminine and the expressive masculine, that are both experiencing a black moon. And a black moon is the dark side, the unknown side, the ignorance. Ignorance is not, in its definition, about not being smart. It's what we don't know. It is the dark side of wisdom. It is the dark side of the new beginning that's coming. And it's the unknown. And that is the instability. And the energy you put around it in the exploration is the co-creation of what you're making. And how you approach it. So in this black moon, the next one will be December 30th. It will be for the eastern part of this country, the western part of the country. And both of them had a component of truth One was receiving the transformation that was coming, very much that receptive scorpion energy. And this time is the structure you're building, the actual dark side of what, not knowing exactly what you're building, but especially with this Aquarian energy, putting that vision together and looking at how are you putting it together. Capricorn energy is all about our potential. It's all about our bigger understanding of how things are put together, the same way they're put together in the minuscule piece. And how we approach our words, how we approach our structure is a huge part of it that is happening. So on the 30th of December is the new moon in Capricorn. And the new moon was on the 1st for the East. It was on the 30th of November for the West. And so it really, and because we're talking about the East, we're talking about new beginnings. So this is the dark side of what we don't know that is coming in this structure. How is that going to look? And when I say dark side, that's not a bad thing. That's our own fears. It's the unknown. And it's how we sit with that. It doesn't mean we pretend it's not there, but how we sit with that energy is what we're putting together in our structure. In this time, in this month, today, Neptune went direct. So Neptune's been working internally for quite a while, and with spirit, putting together your flow. Also today, Venus moved into Aquarius, and Venus and Aquarius is always an interesting combination because it is about the instability. It is about the unknown that brings us stability, because Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and it's about what's beautiful in that. It's about what's valued in that, and it's about our relationship with this instability. And we, of course, now have Mars retrograde. Mars does not retrograde every year, almost every 2 years. And it's in Leo right now. It's in the spark. That's that Mars energy of what is driving us forward, what has us stepping into the dark side of the moon. Cue Pink Floyd here. The dark side of a blue moon is what a black moon is. And a blue moon is all about wisdom, symbiotic relationships. Even in symbiotic relationships, no, there's can be a parasitic piece. It's your exploration of it that steps forward, not anybody else's, nobody else's rules, nobody else's feelings on this structure you are putting together. You know, there's a movement right now on TikTok. Have you heard about it? It's called FOFA.
I don't think I've heard about that. No.
First word rhymes with duck, and it's FAFO, duck around and find out. And that isn't a bad thing in itself. In other words, there is an accountability that is stepping forth for all of us about what is this going to mean for me? How am I going to respond to this? And I can only respond with my very small thing that's in front of me. One of the things I certainly learned is, okay, if I don't have a name and I don't have a voice, what do I have? How do I respond to this? And, you know, what's right in front of me? And that's a big piece of this. We've got a lot of endings coming in the first 3 months, especially up till about the 5th month of endings and planetary aspects moving forward, all kinds of things that are happening. This retrograde of Mars is going to head into Cancer. Mars is not particularly fond of being in Cancer, says the girl with that as a natal placement, because it's a pivotal energy. Mars likes to align its will and go and start. And in Cancer, it's going, well, maybe, trying to look at that piece. But meanwhile, we'll have come through this time with Leo of very clearly what is sparking me forward. And then we deal with this alignment. A lot of planets are in alignment. This black moon that steps forward to really have us looking at all the ignorance in this new beginning of, and there's an excitement in that. if we want there to be, So
Yes, there is. And a couple of things I want to touch on. Some numbers, which I'll touch on that in a second. And I just definitely want to touch on that Mars and Cancer energy, where the hesitation. And I think, in theory, even though Mars right now is in Leo, hasn't even gone into Cancer just yet. I do
it
think
won't
there's a
till
lot.
January.
Yeah, exactly. January 6th or 7th, I think it enters Cancer. But I think people are starting to feel that energy, at least the crossover between Leo and Cancer, in regards to evaluating um, their connections with their clients. And I find it so interesting and funny at the same time that we're easily able to point our finger at the client and say that the client is X, Y, and Z, and not realizing that, well, we as a practitioner have the right to make a change in something. And if we're not the one speaking up and changing something, then reality of it all is our client isn't going to voluntarily change it for us in regards to our pricing. And I know that's a big thing for a lot of practitioners out there. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on it, but just to shed a little light about it, that there are a lot of practitioners out there right now with that back and forth on like, well, what do I do? How do I do? Do I keep my rates the same for my clients who've been with me forever, or do I change the rates? And I know I've had that question, in my business for 22 years. And the answer to that question, in case anyone is wondering, is no, you're going to increase your rates even though you've had clients with you for many, many years. And if you're going to go into a state of fear, use that fear as your fuel. That's my message for that. I'm going to leave it there. I want to touch on numbers because Katie mentioned a lot of numbers regarding what she spoke on just now, based on December 30th being the black moon. When we take those numbers, first of all, the number 12, which represents December, the 12 is a representation of Pisces energy. So every month carries a specific energy of a zodiac sign, and it's not necessarily in the same alignment of what the zodiac sign is for that particular month. We're looking at the number. So December is the 12th month. So it carries that Piscean energy of being more intuitive and trusting. And when you can rely more on your intuition, all this uncertainty gets minimized because you will allow yourself to trust more of what your gut is saying, and trusting more and leaning more towards everything's okay. I mean, that's been my mantra for quite some time. Everything's exactly how it needs to be, even though right now it may seem a little scary. And scary sometimes could be a good thing because, again, using your fear as your fuel to keep pushing through whatever it is you have to push through, as opposed to going into a state of pause or freeze because you're so worried about the quote unquote dark side of things, or the uncertainty or the instability of things. Because the moment we go into that state of fear or worry, we literally are going to block whatever it is that's supposed to come in. So using this 12 energy of December, tapping into your intuition and allowing yourself to really rely on your gut intuition to guide you to what direction. Should you make a move right now? Or should you not? For some people, it may be yes, make a move, do something big, do something bold. And for other people, maybe, how about you pause for now, wait until we move into 2025 before you make that big, impulsive, bold move to do what you got to do. So it's not going to be the same answer for everybody. And both Kitty and I would be able to direct you better in reference to if you are the person that should be doing the bold move, or if you are the person that should be holding back for a moment based on whatever your astrology chart looks like at this point in time. So we take these numbers, that 12, that December 30th, which is 12-3, and I'm not leaving out the 0. I'm going to talk about that 0 too. But that 12-3 adds to our 6 energy. Before we go ahead and add it into our universal energy, that 6 energy, again, we're going to come right back because this is what I do, is the body. Trusting that your physical body, and I think Kitty has gotten a like straight on, hands-on example of what I'm about to say. The 6 energy is your physical body telling you. So if you experience I like to refer to as a spiritual calibration or a spiritual flu. In the 3D world, it's known as cold or other symptoms for that matter. That's just the universe letting you know that you do need to rest. You do need to quiet down. You do need to be still. And it's important to honor your body that with the sixth energy is to honor it, especially on anything that adds to that sixth vibration. It's honoring your body because your body is going to let you know when, and I use the term when your body's out of alignment. And your body's only out of alignment because there's a lot of planetary shifts going on. I mean, just within the last 2 days, we had Mars retrograde. Today we have Venus and Neptune. Venus moving, as Kitty said earlier, Venus moving into Aquarius, which is now going to be playing along with Pluto. It's the vision you're holding for yourself and your vision on a whole in reference to what does that look like? What are your intentions for 2025? And maybe this is the time to sit pen to paper to write out those intentions. Do you have some small goals that you're looking to accomplish? And do you have the big, bold goals you're looking to accomplish? That's that vision that you're holding for yourself. So allowing yourself to be in that space to rest. And when we think about Neptune going direct in Pisces, I mean, goodness gracious, Neptune going direct in Pisces when we're in that 12 month of really trusting your intuition and the spiritual evolution that you're experiencing right here, right now. So this is definitely, as I'm hearing it, a power month. And yes, it can definitely be about instability because, yeah, everything's not stable right now. There's so much in things that are unstable right now because it's supposed to be like that. Things are not stable because the track is what I just heard. The track is coming apart. And why is the track coming apart? Because perhaps we have to get off the train. We've been riding a train and just riding it, coasting along. And it's time to get off that train because that train is not taking us to where we have to go. And the only way we're going to be forced to get off is if the tracks are unstable and they force you to get off. They're like, everyone has to get off on this stop. And we all sit around looking like, but this is not our stop. Well, the universe has just detoured you. And there's a reason why the universe is detouring us. The universe wants us to be in that instability of like, okay, so what do we do now? Well, trust. That's what we do now.
Well, we are, importantly, we are also coming to the end of a Neptunian cycle.
Yes.
We are in Pisces. We are at the end, last 2 degrees of Pisces. And on March 30th, 2025, we start a whole new spiral of our Neptune energy starting over again in Aries. And it is completing a peace with spirit, a peace with flow, a peace with our dreams. That is stepping forward. And we are coming to that. Like I said, there's a lot of completions in those first 3 months. Yes. That step forward.
Yes, and with that completion, it's not just about our planets making completions. It's those planets are very much connected to each and every one of us. Taking a look at where you have Neptune on your chart, that house placement could give you a little insight to where some of this energy is coming from. And what is coming to an end, besides the year 2024 is coming to an end, let's take this even deeper. What is going on in your life, your career, your relationships, your health, all of these things. And when we talk about that health, it's your physical body. So this is a time where a lot of things are changing, shifting, coming to an end, where you no longer have to hold on. I mean, 2024, we've been talking about this whole process of resetting our karmic cycle. It's been a reset for the last, as we are in the last month of 2024, we have been working on resetting. Now, of course, if we're in the process of doing all this work of resetting, how do we expect not to have instability? In order for us to get stable again, we literally have to go through that process and everything sort of has to settle through in regards to what we're letting go of and then what is going to be coming in. And I always love the expression that when one door closes, another door opens. And why I love that expression is because the reality of that is it's not completely true. And let me explain what I mean. When one door closes, sometimes the other door doesn't immediately open just because one door has closed. And why is there a delay? Because again, the instability, things have to settle first before that new door can open up for some of us to move forward. So yeah, this is definitely, I find this to be an exciting time that we're in right now in reference to the dark moon that we have coming in, and the fact is that yes, Venus is now in Aquarius, Mars is in retrograde in Leo. There's just a lot going on, and then we're gonna have Mercury going direct on the 15th of December. There's a lot going on. And Kitty, if I'm not mistaken, I think not Neptune, Uranus is going to be going direct in January, the end of January. So that's another big player. And Kitty and I will come back and talk about that as we get closer.
I mean,
so
this is a really big end of a big cycle with this Neptune too, because it's a 165-year long cycle that we're starting over. So you go back to 1860. So
wow.
this Neptune cycle is from 1860 to 2025. Think of what the world has seen, what has happened to where spirituality, where dreams, where visions, all of those things were in 1860. Now, one of the things I'm hearing Spirit say, which I'm going to figure out, was the last time that Neptune started a new cycle and Pluto was in Aquarius.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be somewhere, I'm going to bet, in the 1400s.
Yeah. Well, even going back to your statement about, from the 1860s right to 2025 with, the spiritual evolution of Neptune in Pisces. I mean, back that far, there were many, I can't say the word enough, psychics, intuitives that were quiet about their spiritual gifts. And here we are now in 2025. Oh my God, I've never realized how many psychics, medium, clairvoyants, you name whatever the title is, how many people there are out there that are gifted in this realm. Because reality of it all is, for so many years, at least when I first started on my journey, not so many people came out and said what they were doing. And now here it is, right here out in the open. There's more and more of us that are recognizing our spiritual gifts, and there's going to be so many more joining our team. And I say it that way in reference to recognizing that there is something about them that is special, that they are intuitive, they are powerful, and they may need some support and some push to help them get along and move along in regards to their craft and their actual gifts. And that's what we're here to do. Kitty and I coming and sharing this insight with each and every one of you is, one, it's reminding you that if you have not quite put it out there to your friends and family that you are gifted, that you now have support. And hearing that here, Kitty and I do this, you can sit back and say, oh my God, I can't believe they do this. I do this too. Knowing that you're not alone with your gift that you have. There's so many of us who do what we do. So now it's really about coming out of that dark side, allowing this black moon in Capricorn, because again, Capricorn is about the work you're here to do. And a big part of the work that all of us are here to do is recognizing that we are intuitive and that we are more than human. We are really spiritual. And by being spiritual, it really does allow us to move more into our intuition, to be guided. And I'm not saying that just because you're intuitive and that you're trusting that you're never going to have a doubt in your mind again. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because again, there's plenty of times where I'm sitting and trying to figure, okay, do I go right? Do I go left? Do I stay? And then I have to really sit and have conversations with spirit to get that answer. And sometimes there's no answer at the moment. So then what do we do then when there's no answer? We reach out to every psychic out there. I reach out to Kitty and say, Kitty, let's look at my chart because I have a question. And sometimes Kitty can't give the insight, because the insight's not meant to show up just yet. And I think that's where the instability comes from, because we all want to know the answers like now. It's our timing. We want everything now in our timing, and the reality of it all is not about our timing. It's the divine timing of when we're supposed to know what we need to know at the time that we need to know it. So again, powerful time, energetically. And when we think, coming back to our numbers, when we think about December, 12 months, and we think about 2024, in that 8 energy, we have this whole month as the 11 vibration. So not only is December carrying that Piscean energy, it's also about that 11 vibration, as we are all here to master in something. And whatever that something is, and you may not know what your something is just yet, but it's about mastering. And you have the entire month of December to try to figure that out, what that is that you're mastering in. And even if that means you learn it on December 31st, like, oh, I know what it is. The idea is you know it. You figure it out. And it will eventually come to you of what that mastery is in this energy we do have coming through. So, Kitty, what else do we want to share regarding this interesting energy of the instability and
Well,
the being?
just so people kind of have an idea of one other reason why this is kind of in its stability is, so our outer planets, Uranus or Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. One has a 165-year journey in a cycle through the 12 signs of the zodiac. The other one has an 84, and the other one is a 246. And this is what is within a year of time, a little bit more than a year. It's a year and a month. And those are, by the way, our bigger themes of our life. So if you know those where you carry that vibration, those are undercurrent themes that they're what you're surfing on with all of your daily energy that you're dipping into and learning about. And we have within a year, so the mathematical probability that they will all change within any somewhat close period of time is astronomical. 165 years, 246 years, 84 years. And yet within a year, every single one of these outer planets, undercurrents, changes. And they change from feminine to male. So they change to expressive. One starts a whole brand new cycle. The other one is in Aquarius, getting near the end of a cycle. And the other one, it will be the first heir of its cycle, which is our Uranus placement. And so that is astronomically a real focus on this time of this shift of Gemini. What is the vision of our stability and the chaos and how we want to look? What is Pluto? The vision of how we want to transform, how we want to be, what our bigger themes of how we think are. Gemini is personal thinking energy. Aquarian is the collective energy. And coming in the middle of that is our Neptune, which is starting something new with spirit, starting something, sparking us forward to evolve. It is the ultimate cardinal energy that moves us forward, the spark of the match, the spark that starts the forest fire, whatever that starting energy is. And we're talking about cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So we are talking about putting the boots on the ground, and finishing up completion. So that's a lot of energy. A lot of 29th degrees are happening across this next calendar year. So
in addition to and in addition to what Kitty's saying about both Gemini and Aquarius, and of course Neptune moving into Aries, this will definitely highlight the instability of your I am statement, because again we're back to that space of who am I? Because we are going through this 9-year evaluation of who am I? And I think the better question that we might want to ask ourselves is, who do I want to be? Rather than the who am I, who do I want to be? Because up until now, I think so many of us have been influenced by maybe family members and friends of who they thought we were, as opposed to, well, who would I like to be? And you have that opportunity to act out and be out who you would like to be. So if you see yourself being whatever it is you see yourself being, this is the opportunity, especially with Neptune starting its new cycle in Aries, tapping into that I am who I want to be, and that spiritual being that you are, and bringing them together to possibly live out your purpose to what you came here to do to begin with, and whatever that looks like for you. So again, I think I've been saying this since probably the beginning of 2024, is that many people are going to experience some sort of, the words I'm hearing is massive change regarding their careers. In reference to whatever they've been doing up until now, their career is going to look very different, because they're going to look very different. They may get the sudden desire that, I don't want to do what I've been doing for the last 15, 20 years or whatever not. And I'm not speaking in regards to retirement. I'm really speaking on regards to, like, it's time to do something different that's going to feed and fuel the soul, and not be so concerned about feeding and fueling the paycheck, is how to be very direct about it. So we are moving into some amazing times, amazing energy. Kitty, you have your cards with you tonight?
I do have my cards.
Excellent. We're going to pull some cards, see what shows up, and go from there. And I just want to give a shout out to anyone who is with us watching, and those who will be watching this later. Those who are watching or catch this on my YouTube channel, I'm going to ask for a little support by subscribing to my channel. Watch something to the full end. I need a little bit more traction. I get I think all how do we call ourselves? Whoever have a YouTube channel, whatever the title is, we all get a report every month. There you go. We all get a report every month, and my report this month was like, you did a flat 0 of subscribers this month. There was no traction to your channel. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm on my channel every day. How is that? And when I say I'm on my channel every day, I mean I literally go to my channel.
There's some grace here, because we have Lemon 8, we have Expel, we have all of these new platforms. I personally wish somebody would come up with a new platform for Facebook, considering I seem to be a person non grata for Facebook. I have purposely, by the way, I purposely picked The Wonder of Nature.
I don't think you're really missing much on Facebook, which is really funny, because the algorithms on Facebook is so weird that, I keep an eye on that as well, because they give also a statistic report in regards to how many people view whatever it is you're doing, whether it's a live or whatever post. And it really is interesting, because I have over, I don't even know the number of people I have on my friends list on Facebook. And my statistics when I do a live or whatever not is like 3 or 4. It's like, really? Where is everybody? Like, why are we not getting in front of these people? And so I don't think you're really missing too much in regards to not being on Facebook.
Well, I'm not hardly missing anything, because according to Facebook, I'm not there.
Yes.
So, I keep on my group, and what I miss is the people that I used to keep up with, that more than the work piece of it. People's Christmas trees I'm not going to see this year. Every year I've done something called Seasons of Light, where I find a quote about light. We're in the seasons of light. And not doing that. So, it's something different. So I purposely picked the wonders of nature since we're talking about instability. Tuning into nature is a way for us to, it's that feeling you get, or I get, let me own this, when I stand at the beach and I look at the water and it washes over me. And there's a piece of me that understands the never ending story that is connected to that level of power, that level of beauty and majesty and all of those. So I'm tuning into those kinds of things.
Mm.
All right. So my first card is nice card. Luck is on your side.
Mm.
And I feel like that's a message. Luck is on your side. When you tune into that, our friend Joe talked about, radical acceptance of joy, radical acceptance of what is to be, and when you have the opportunity, use your voice.
Yes.
Which is what that whole FAFO is about.
So as Katie is shuffling her next card, I have three, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna bounce between each other's cards. So with her luck card, I think this next one, my card that came out was success. So I think that's so perfectly aligned with Kitty's card of luck, especially for those of you who are entrepreneurs and those of you who are on like trying to see which lane you're going to sit in for 2025. Are you going to continue to do the career you've been doing working for a company? Or are you going to take the leap of faith and really start to move more into what you were born to do? So this card is reminding you that yes, there's success in your journey. The yellow is very much associated with trusting. This is really about tapping into your gut knowing that, as I said earlier, we all have a purpose, so trusting it. And that number 8 is so perfectly aligned with 2024 as we are at the end of it. This is about the karmic reset. So if you have any challenges with not having the greatest relationship with money, this is a perfect time to rewrite that contract. To do a reset, to do it differently, look at money in a different way, and trust. The more you can trust that you have an entire wealth well, and it's really up to you to activate it and access it. So that's our first card. Your second card, Kitty, is what?
Go with the flow.
Look how perfect these cards are. I love that. Go with the flow. And that's going to sit really nicely with the cards that I pulled. As Kitty says, go with the flow. As we had the yellow with trusting, the next card is face. Go with the flow and trust. Have faith. Have faith. And our number is 56, which actually adds to 11, which is all about, again, this is about the month of December and the 2024 energy. This is about mastery in something. And maybe the mastery that you're here to do is to master trusting fate and going with the flow, not trying to make something happen just yet. Allow it to happen. Allow it. Be in that space of allowing as opposed to forcing. The green energy is about your heart center, the matters of the heart. So when you begin to trust your intuition, you can move more into a state of joy and in a state of just knowing that everything is working out for you. There's absolutely nothing that's going on right now, whether it's behind the scenes or right in front of your face. There's actually nothing going on that is not aligned with your agreements. Every one of us have chosen this time to be here on Earth during all the chaoticness that we're witnessing. And that chaoticness that we're witnessing is a very instability that we all chose to be here for. There's some big lessons coming in. You have your third card?
Just what you were saying. You are ready, manifest, and go.
I love that. And you can't make this stuff up. The third card that shows up here for me. Now, if you follow me on a regular basis, you know that the cards can show up in one or two ways. reverse or an upright position. A reverse card means that there's a little resistance, maybe a little bit of worry. It also means you need to pay attention to the message that's coming through. And whatever the color of the card is a chakra you may need to work on. And as both Kitty and I do struggle with our throat chakra, it does not surprise me that the card that shows up, which is about engage, but it's in reverse. So it's like really it's about what are you engaging in? What do you focus on? Who are you talking to? Who are your connectors? You need to have connectors. You need to have people that's going to support you. Now, before we had Facebook, we had other ways of connecting with people. Phone calls, texts, all those different things, emails. These may be the ways, writing a letter. These may be the ways that, we have to come back to. So we're not just limited because, again, if we limit ourselves to one way of doing something, we're literally preventing ourselves from engaging in other things that we can be engaged in. 2 and 7 is that 9 energy. We can't make this shit up. That 9 is very much about the Sagittarian energy. It's the energy where Mercury is right now in its retrograde, where it's about the higher learning, the wisdom, the letting go, the transforming. It is that powerful energy. And then we move into the throat. This is about what do you need to say? What do you not need to say? When do you need to be quiet and be in a state of silence so you can hear more from what spirit needs to say? And when do you need to share a message? And that's what this engage is, and that's what the card in reverse is all about. This is about taking that time to really ask yourself, maybe this is a day to be in a state of quiet so spirit can deliver the messages that spirit needs to deliver to you. I mean, most people, based on the 3D energy, refer to when the weather changes, most people use this terminology, and the terminology is, well, when the weather changes, they get sick. So they have a belief system that when the weather changes, they're going to get sick. Or they get sick in the month of November. Or they get sick in the month of December. It's their mindset. So they're creating the very situation that's going on with their body because they have commanded something based on a belief that they believe. So again, what are you engaged in? What beliefs can you rewrite? And if you are experiencing some sort of spiritual calibration going on or a spiritual flu, and you might be asking what's the difference? A spiritual flu is a little bit more intensified where you have a lot more symptoms going on at the same time, where you do need the rest. And the spiritual calibration is just where something may be happening in the moment, and then you start to feel better a little faster. But either way, it's really about your body's way of just saying to you, it's time to rest, it's time to chill, it's time to come back to center. And what are you engaging in? So I'm loving our cards. I'm loving the message for today. And I'm loving the fact that, those who are here with us watching. Kitty, do you have any final words for tonight?
No, but our little friend came to visit.
I see. Yes, I love that.
Well, and I'm sitting very awkwardly because this is my dog, Jack. And he likes to go behind me. And then
is he sitting behind you with a snoop this way?
Yes, so he's come in this way. So I'm sitting forward, but he's just completely and utterly this level of unconditional love I send to everyone. There's my final words. I did pull a final card, which he knocked on the floor. And I'm going to get it. Okay, Jack. And it was, don't limit yourself, explore, but remember to take care, cleanse, and reset. They both came out together.
I love that. Yes, I love that. And I do want to mention, for those who are watching, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching this at a different time, different day. December 9th, which is
Monday,
thank you, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested, our Women Empowering Women's monthly group will be taking place that night. It's on Zoom. It's invitation only, and it is a membership. And there's two ways you can go about it. You can receive a VIP invitation that will either A, let you know that you can join the membership and you gain access to one meeting for free with purchase of membership, or B, you can get the VIP invitation to a 1-day pass, which is there's a fee for that. And if you want the information, feel free to email me, healingwithin76@gmail.com. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can just send me a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, email. And you're welcome to come. This is for women only. Sorry, men, because it's a women empowering women's group. And we have an amazing speaker who's going to be speaking that day. And I wrote down her title. Let me see if I can find it really quickly, because that would only make sense if I can. I wrote it down somewhere. Where the hell did I write it? Come on. I know I wrote it. I had to write it for something earlier. Question is, where did I write it? If I can't remember, I can't remember, but that's okay. And because I can't remember, I know I wrote it somewhere. Let me look one more place, see if it's here. Nope, it's not there. Anyway, whatever the case is, but we have an amazing speaker coming in. And Kitty, will you be there?
I am planning to be there. I've been sick the last couple, so.
Yes. Yeah, so if Kitty is there, she'll be sharing the insight about the astrology. I will kick off the event with some numerology insight, the energy of the day. And it's just really a fun group where we are there to support each other, encourage each other, lift each other up. And everybody who does attend gets a chance to chit-chat about whatever's going on in their world, whatever they're looking to accomplish, what goals they may have. So again, for you ladies out there who's interested in attending, please reach out to me. And there you have it. So Kitty and I will definitely find our way back here to share some more insight with you. Maybe
Jack will join us again.
Yes, maybe we could be back here before Christmas. If not, we'll definitely be back here in January. And we have a lot of fun things coming through in January. So keep your eyes and ears open. So this way here you can find out about all the amazing events that's going on that we're bringing to the table. And I'm still looking for that title. Why can't I find it? It's so funny when I write things down, where I write them.
Maybe we should look at like around the 15th when Mercury goes direct and it's a full moon and it's a Sunday night.
That's possible, yeah. Yes, we could definitely do that. So we're gonna put it out there. We're gonna confirm right now that Kitty and I will be back here on December 15th, and we'll chat about Mercury going direct and our full moon. What's the moon's energy gonna be?
So it's the opposite of Capricorn.
Oh, Cancer.
Cancer, yeah.
Yay!
Always a powerful moon because Cancer is the ruler of the moon rules Cancer. So.
Yes, that should be quite interesting. Quite interesting time at that point in time. All right, folks. So we'll see you all back here in 2 weeks. Until then, enjoy the rest of your night. And again, thank you all for being here. Until we meet again. A slow goodbye, a slow goodbye, a slow goodbye.